We're going to do a few restorative asanas together. Let's start with swastikasana. So sitting in cross legs, cross the shins, fold your palms, lift the side trunk, lift the fronts of the shoulders, descend the backs of the shoulders. Soften your breastbone, close your eyes and look within. Feel your natural breathing. Just arrive here as you are, noticing how your body feels. Noticing the movement of your body as it breathes. And then notice the air moving through the nostrils. So arriving here in this moment as we are. And then keeping your chest lifted, bow your head to your heart and rest your hands down. Then gradually open your eyes and raise your head. So we're going to do a few supine postures with a similar awareness. So grab yourselves a blanket, 2 blankets. If you don't have blankets, grab big towels. So this is just an ordinary blanket. Fold it in half so it's a little bit narrow. And then have another blanket for your head. So that sort of shape. Place it on the end. Then again, we're going to be in the cross leg position. So just stretch your legs out for a moment and then again cross your legs and have the blanket just a short distance away from your buttocks. And then place your hands on the floor and just lay yourself down. So don't sort of go down with an arch. Just allow the pelvis to release and lay yourself along that blanket. And then take the blanket for your head and bring it to your shoulders bring it to your shoulders so it supports your neck, but it's not under the shoulders. So neck and head are supported. And then stretch your arms up and reach your arms back behind you and enjoy this lengthening in the trunk. So the top buttock flesh is releasing towards your feet. So there's this real length in your lower back. And by stretching the arms, you're lengthening the kind of chest area away from the waist. Keep your arms off the floor so that the arms are really straight. And instead of trying to bring the hands down to the ground, just press your upper arms down into the blanket. Then raise your arms up, catch hold of your left elbow, so the thumb goes into the elbow crease and your fingers go around the upper arm, and do the same with the other arm. And then again stretch your arms above your head, this time resting your arms on the blanket. If your shoulders get stuck, then just move a little bit further away from that top blanket so that the shoulder doesn't get stuck on the blanket. And then rest here. You can have your eyes open or closed. So first of all, feel your body and just get a sense of whether there's any discomfort. So if you've got trouble with your knees and this is really not comfortable enough, or you've got difficulty with your hips, then you may need some extra support underneath them. So that's when you grab an extra blanket. So if it's the knees, you'd be supporting the knees. If it's the hip, you'd be supporting right at the hip. So, if you're a bit stiff in the hips, you'd be a bit like that, and then you've got the blanket there so that the leg can rest on it. Or similarly with the knees, if the knee is stiff, then you've got the blanket there to support the knee. And then gently bring your arms up to the ceiling, bring your arms down and release. And then we're going to change the cross of the legs, so you can probably just there itself bend your knees and swap the legs over so your other shin is in front. So we always have a habitual way, so now change it so you've got the other one in front and cross your legs. And then stretch your arms up again. This time catch hold of the right upper arm so the thumb goes into the elbow crease, the fingers go around. Do that with the other, and then stretch your arms back, rest them on the blanket. Again, if there's discomfort in the legs or hips, just loosen the cross of the legs. It doesn't need to be a tight position, but what I want you to feel is a sense of ease in the posture. So recently I've been sharing about how it's important to find ease within the postures that we're doing, to have some level of enjoyment and pleasure that we find by doing the postures. And you may notice that it's a different kind of pleasure that we might normally associate with pleasure. You know, like if you take a bite into an ice cream or a bit of cake or chocolate or something, and you get this sort of rush of oh yum yum, and then you go for more. It's kind of an obvious pleasure. Sometimes in the asanas it requires us to do something to notice the pleasure or the ease. So just for another half a minute now, as you lie here, see if you can kind of soften and allow yourself to settle into the posture. You know, your body might be in the posture, but your attention might be still finishing off what you were doing downstairs in the kitchen, or jumping ahead to when you're going shopping later. So see if we can all just settle into our bodies right now in this posture. Feeling the body as a whole. Bring your arms down by your side and then roll over off your blankets or bolster and then come up to sitting. So we're going to shift the position of the blankets to be horizontal. So that's what I call vertical. Now we'll do it horizontal. So we're turning it this way. We still need one for the head, but there's going to be a gap between the shoulders and the head for the arms to go, for the shoulders to go down. So what you'll notice here is that the shoulders roll over this little lip in the blanket. I don't have space this side, but you will. It's just, I wanted to be close to the bed for a posture in a minute. So roll your shoulder bone over that blanket. And your trapezius muscle also gets dragged. If it doesn't, just come back up onto that blanket and slide back a bit, and you get this lovely feeling of those shoulder muscles dragging towards your waist. And then your shoulders roll over the edge. So not like this, roll them over the edge like a fitted bed sheet coming around the edge of the mattress and tucking under. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, Baddha Konasana. So your arms are out wide, the soles of your feet are together and your knees are apart. Be on the center of the back of your head. And then almost just allow your body to receive the posture. Just like when you get into the shower at the end of the day and you just receive that warm water pouring all over your body. There's a sense of washing away the thoughts, the actions, the experiences of the day. There's this cleansing. So see if you can get in touch with this sense of receiving the posture and enjoying the cleansing quality of your body exhaling. So join in with your body's natural processes. Let your attention come right into the here and now in your body and exhale. Receive the shape of the posture, receive the opening, the spaciousness in the chest, all the way to your fingertips, arms nice and wide. And that cleansing exhalation. Again, if you want to use belts around your legs, feel free, for those who know how to. You can use 2 belts, one around the shin and the thigh and the other around the other shin and the thigh, pulling the shins towards the thighs. And that'll really free up the organic body. And then exhale. And we're going to come out of this posture. So bring your knees together, and again just sort of roll over. You just lift your head very slightly because it's back, and roll over onto that right side. Press your left hand down and sit up. Okay, so I also wanted to show you how to work with a bed, because I've really enjoyed using this bed here for various different yoga postures. So I've created a sort of pillow. I'm not sure if it'll be high enough, but let's see. So go to your bed or somewhere, one of the beds in your house, sit right, or a sofa will work, right up against it. Now, yeah, this is about the right height. So you know where we had that horizontal blanket a moment ago? It was kind of in the upper back so that we could roll the shoulders over. So similarly here, in fact, it would be better if I had both hands on it. There we go, just about fit in the screen. So from here, I roll the shoulders back, roll the palms up, and get this nice openness in my chest. If you're sitting a bit low, you know, if you're kind of down here, or your knees are really high, you can sit on a bolster or a foam pad. So just see what you've got and what you need. So see, now this is good, this is still good. So if your knees are kind of up here, then sitting up on a blanket will help the knees to come down. But yeah, this is good, it's slightly higher up. And now we're going to recline. So these blankets here that I got for my head, I'm going to bring them into place, and it's not comfortable at all. It's not high enough, because it was kind of making me go like that and crick my neck. So I'm actually going to take this blanket away and see if it's slightly better. So I bring the blankets right into my neck. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it could do with a little bit more height. So I'm going to add an extra blanket, and I'm also going to show it sideways so that you can see what happens to the head and neck. So you'll curve curving over that support, so the support's in your, there we go. And then the blankets are supporting your head and neck. So can you see that my shoulder bones can roll over, so I'm kind of arching this upper back area, and then rest the arms on the sofa. And the trapezius muscles draw down, sides of the neck are nice and long. So see if you can set yourself up like that now. In a reclining position. You can choose whatever position of your legs depending on your needs. So you could try legs wide if you find cross legs difficult for the knees, but your hamstrings are relatively long, then sit in Upavishta Konasana and do the same thing. Oh, that's better for me because I'm quite hot here. So the menopausal women, legs wide, throw that heat out of the body, and then lie back. Obviously I need to have something for both arms. So the pelvis is really upright, and then the chest is being opened by the edge of that chair or bolster. So exhale and feel that stability through your legs. If you find it's too much for your shoulders, if the height's not quite right, then you can rest your hands on your tummy and then bring a higher support for the head. So you've got to work on it to get the right height for you. And then see if you can enjoy this spaciousness across the chest. The rib cage really broad. And then exhale. And we're going to come out of the posture now. So gently press your hands down and sit up, raise your head, sit up. And then if you haven't done so yet, straighten out your legs. So we're going to come to bridge posture now, setubhanda sarvangasana, with the bed. Now, depending on how your body is, you may feel that you need to do a downward facing dog pose just to get some length, or if you're particularly stiff, so you can go into that now. But if you're well practiced, you won't need to, and you can just go straight away into bridge pose. Now, those of you who've been practicing for 6 months or so, you already know how to do bridge pose with 4 blocks under the buttocks and the feet to the wall. So today I'm going to show you how to use a bed. I am actually just going to do a quick demo of how beginners who've never done it before, what you can do. You just get your folded blanket, lie down, lift your hips, place the folded blanket under the buttocks now, and then straighten the legs. So you're getting an opening in the pelvis as well as the opening in the chest. And the legs are straight, toes are to the ceiling. And you can have that a little bit higher if you're more practiced. You don't have a bed. So this is bridge pose, setubhanda sarvangasana. In fact, you could all do this if you wanted to, just as a preliminary before you go to the bed. But I'm determined to keep this video short, so I'm going to carry on now. Here are the blankets. I've placed a folded blanket there, and then another folded blanket on top of it, so it raises the whole height. And then a third blanket, so that can you see? Yeah, so my shoulders are going to land on the grey blanket, and my neck is going to rest on the edge of that blue blanket, and my head is resting on the floor. I'm going to grab a bit of cloth for the back of my head so that it slides on the mat rather than sticks. A belt would be handy as well. A belt. Never mind. Let's do it without. Okay, so here we are with the bed. So first of all, just lie down and get your neck to just hang over the edge. So you're kind of on the 7th cervical and the head is freely hanging, the shoulders are hanging. Feel this lovely openness in your chest. And then you slide. So can you see how I'm kind of coiling over the edge of the bed? I'm not sliding into the room. I'm trying to stay snug to the bed. And then obviously you just need to, get your hair out of the way. Then you find you've hit the blanket. So that's a good start. See how the neck is long, shoulder muscles are drawing to the waist. But then we go a bit further. So if you're not sure about this, you can take your hands to the floor, to steady your slide down. So can you see how I'm slightly tucking my head in and landing my shoulders on this grey blanket and my neck on the blue blanket? So you can take your time, see how my knees are bent, so that I can really focus on this lovely arching in the upper body. And then I've landed. Knees are still bent. And then you just check in with how your neck and your lower back is feeling. If it's a strain on your neck, you need more blankets so that this is more like a bolster, so it's higher up, like when we do shoulder stand. Similarly, if your lower back is not comfortable, then you may need to come slightly further off. So you may need to be more on the sacrum, so it would be sort of further back like that. Now I've just ruined it. There we go. Come back up again. And then from here, you might be able to slide your legs straight. Then you'll notice how there's a strong opening in the front of the pelvis. So you need to roll those thighs in. That's why I was wanting a belt. You can put a belt around the thighs or around the feet to get those thighs to roll in. If your lower back's not comfortable here, still you can continue with the knees bent, or you could, like I was showing a second ago, just grab your blankets, move slightly further into the room. So can you see now more to the sacrum? And that helps the lower back to lift and the thighs to go down. So the edge of the bed is sacral area. Doesn't have to be though, but that's where, just like when we put the 4 foam pads under the buttocks. But now instead of 4 foam pads, we've got a massive bed. And then just breathe here. If it's not working for you, just gently slide down. Slide towards your head, don't sit up. And then again, receive the posture. Breathe out. Cleanse that lower abdominal area with your out breath.